Hey yogis, welcome to day 10 of our 21-day Yin Yoga challenge. Today we are going to explore an element of this Yin practice that is all about drawing in and receiving. So as we move through our practice today, we are going to be a kind of empty and open space that just receives the moment without trying to fix it or change it or resist it in any way. And rather than going out to meet the moment, we're going to draw in and allow the moment to just be received. This is a really lovely aspect of yin that will very much deepen any kind of meditative practice that you have. Now, this understanding can really help you to manage your energy levels as well, and we are going to dip into that as we move through the practice. So coming into a kneeling position today, if that's comfortable for your body, laying flat if it's not. Closing the eyes when you feel ready. We want to take this moment always. This is our enter into the moment opportunity. So when that spine feels long and the shoulders feel soft, give them a little wriggle to just loosen them and soften them down away from the ears. Soften the upper arms, lower arms, hands, palms. Let the eyes close and soften your face. Across the forehead and around the eyes, into the jaw, the tongue, the throat. Breathing in and out through the nose. Start to be here. Start to be aware of the sensations that you feel, the floor beneath you. Hands resting into the lap, presence of the body, breath coming and going through the nose. Soften the belly if you haven't already and start to coax that breath down into the belly. And begin that action of softening. And perhaps action is the wrong word, as we have already discovered. The softening is more of a releasing and a letting go. It's very effortless. Breathing out, letting go. Breathing out, letting go. Arrive a little more. Notice your breath a little more. The movement of the clothes against the skin as you breathe. The movement of air through the nose. Take a deep breath in through your nose all the way up to the very top. Pausing at the top for a moment and then out through the nose. All the way down. Don't stop until you get to the end. One more. Belly rises first. And then down to the end. Opening the eyes, ready to begin. So coming down to seated, coming into butterfly pose to begin with. So we're going to take the heels close in and the knees out to the sides. So you'll have a gap just between sitting bones and heels. Roughly when you fold, you want your forehead to very roughly land over where the arches of the feet are. You can place blocks or cushions under your thighs for support, and you can stack bolster cushion blocks, whatever you've got in front of you, so that you have something to lean your head into. So now that we know our options, we'll make our way in, sitting up tall. So press the floor away of your sitting bones. Crown reaches high, so we create space through this section of the body first, leaning forwards. And then slowly, we begin to roll down. You can adjust the positioning of your feet if you need to, if you feel a sweeter spot for them. Okay, so you don't need to work your way all the way down. You can come kind of halfway and just breathe into the posture. Give your body that opportunity to soften. And let your breath out help that along. Breathing down into the belly. Letting go just a little bit each time you breathe out. Each time you breathe out, body softens just a little bit more than the breath before. If you need to give support to your head without props, remember you can lean your elbows into lower legs and head into hands. Giving yourself time to arrive. Noticing the presence of your body, the feeling of your own body. Noticing the feeling of the breath moving, that chest, that belly, through nose. Really becoming very aware of all those little details that make up this moment. All the sensations and all of the experiences that you are having within your body right now. Whether it's contact or pressure or stretch, heat, cool, movement, stillness. And it's not like you are having to concentrate hard here, but just that your attention is very willing to rest here in this moment. Very open and ready to receive. Go a little more. Tune in a little more. What can you feel? What details are you experiencing that you haven't taken in yet, that you haven't noticed? Last few breaths here in this posture. Rolling the spine slowly up to an upright position. Taking the knees back to center and either just stretching them out, enjoying a little point and flex of the toes, or resting back to the hands and just dropping them from side to side. Just a few times. It's nice to close your eyes in these transitions and just keep tuning in, keep receiving all of those details. Okay, so coming into Sphinx, onto the belly. Rest into your forearms, and you can either stay here with the elbows under the shoulders, but for a more gentle version you can take the arms forward and you can lower your chest as much as you need to until you feel just the right amount of sensation in your lower back. So a very low, dull, achy feeling is fine, but nothing sharp or painful. So for the sake of you, those of you that have a bolster, I'm going to demonstrate this time supporting with a bolster. This is optional, and you can of course make do just with cushions instead. So the bolster can be in a position that allows you to still rest into your forearms, and that's a higher point, a deeper point. If you wanted to get a little lower and a little bit more gentle, you could roll your bolster or your cushions towards that top part of your chest, even resting your chin into the bolster. So you can control the depth. You can add in a block for extra support. And you can begin to give the weight of your body over to the floor. If you're not using support, that's fine. Many choose not to. But just keep softening, even though the arms might have to work a little. Keep breathing and finding that softness. Breathing out, letting go. Tune in a little more to the feeling of your own body. Allow yourself to scan around the feeling of your own body. And take it in, feel any kind of sensation, experience or feeling. Just receive that observation, that detail. Now as you receive these details, these experiences that you can feel within your body, just be aware that you don't need to do anything with it. The sensations that you are receiving, and the experiences that you are noticing, don't need to be fixed, changed, or ran away from. Just let them be. Just take it all in. Continue to invite your body to give itself over to the floor as you breathe. Continue to breathe down into the belly. There's a very subtle difference between going and looking, going out to look into your moment, versus Just being here. Empty, open. Just receiving all of this detail. Let it come to you. Any of you want something a little deeper, you can press into your palms and using your cushion or bolster if it's there, you can give support. Make sure the hips stay in contact with the floor, but just roll your cushions or bolster a little lower. Soften your shoulders away from your ears and just breathe into this. Receiving the details of your moment. Notice how, if there are any sounds around you, they just arrive in your awareness automatically. No effort involved. Sensations are just there. You don't have to work to be aware of them. And in fact, you don't have to work to receive any of this that we are observing. Your experiences just come and go. And no control or effort is needed from you. You can just be the observer, be the receiver. So we're going to come down, taking your props away from you. Sit back for a moment in child's pose. And just take a few conscious breaths here. Feeling the air move through the nose. Hearing the sound of the breath. Coming back up and taking the right leg in front first for pigeon pose. So we're going to take the right leg forward and the left leg behind. Again, the hips will lower, but different for everybody. You can absolutely cushion under the opposite hip and you can give some support there. You can change the angle of this foot. So this foot can come up higher or lower depending on how much stretch you want to give to the hips today. Stay on straight arms for a few moments. And when you feel ready, and if you feel ready, there is an option to lower down to the arms. Maybe you don't want to come all the way down to the floor. Maybe you lean into blocks, a bolster or a cushion. or a couple of cushions. And just breathe here. Find little ways to let go. If your body is screaming at you, you've gone too far. So we want to find a very gentle edge that we can breathe into, sink into, soften into. Sometimes that takes a little bit of rearranging. Soften those shoulders. You can let your head lower if that's more comfortable. You may feel very comfortable to come all the way down. To find your version. Don't go out to meet the moment. Don't go out into the outside world. Just stay here. Just be here and breathe. And receive your moment. Take in all of the details. Maybe there's a feeling of heat between the palms, if they have met, or a feeling of heaviness or pressure under the elbows or forearms. Maybe there's a feeling of tension in the shoulders or the jaw or the throat. Or a feeling of stretch through the hips. Breathing out, letting go. Breathing out, letting go. Coming back up onto straight arms, taking that right leg behind you, taking the left leg forwards, and finding your version of the posture. So you may stay on straight arms for a little while before you want to lower, and you may not lower at all. So don't come up to an edge that you can't be in, that you can't relax into over time. So each breath out allows that release of effort. And when effort falls away, we almost automatically we enter into more of a receiving mode. Rather than going out into the world, we just stay here and take in the detail as we breathe. And there's a very restful quality to that. As we take in our moment, there's nothing we need to do with it. We don't need to fix it, or change it, or analyze it. So balance can be found some days when we're feeling depleted and tired, to just play around with drawing our energy back in. And it's a very subtle thing, so if this isn't making sense to you, don't worry. It will come in time and practice, but sometimes rather than letting our energy go out into the world, it's important that we just draw back in. Even if we're moving about our day, we don't need to let our mind run out into different pathways and different circumstances. We can draw in and just be here and just receive our moment. It's a way of spending less energy, if you like. So we'll come up onto straight arms and take the leg behind and just coming into a seated position for a moment, up onto a cushion, closing the eyes, softening the shoulders and lengthening the spine. Continue to take this moment in. And our affirmation for today is, I allow the moment to be as it is. I flow with life rather than against it. So I allow the moment to be as it is. I flow with life rather than against it. I allow the moment to be as it is. I flow with life rather than fighting against it. Bring the palms together. Lower the head to the fingertips. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. So as I mentioned there, that is a very subtle part of our practice. So if it wasn't making complete sense in the 20 minutes that we've had together, that wouldn't surprise me. So ask me your questions in the comments, or come and find me in our Facebook group and you can ask your questions there. And just know that these kind of subtleties of a yin practice are something that develops very much over time. So please do, if you enjoyed this practice, hit that like button. And remember that I do post weekly videos, full-length classes, usually when we're not doing a challenge. So you can hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the little bell, and that way you will get notifications that will let you know when any of my classes go live. So thank you for being here, yogis, and I will see you to continue our journey together tomorrow.